In this video, I'll show you how to create a blank database and save the database. So I'm just going to do a single click on this blank desktop option. And I'm going to go ahead and name this database Sales. And I'll choose to store it in my 395 folder. You can obviously save it wherever you like. And I'll put it in my 394 folder and create. And I have done this earlier, so yes, I'm going to replace that existing file. All right, and now I'm going to add some fields to my table. You'll notice that Access automatically creates a blank table and they name it Table 1. And so we can either leave that as is. If you close it out with this X, it will delete that table. You can go back and create another table under the Create tab. So Create Table. And now we have a blank table again. I'm going to enter my fields though in the design view. So I'm going to come over here to the view option and toggle over to the design view. And I'm going to name this table Sales, TBL Sales. Okay, and so now I have the opportunity to enter some field names. All right, so in the PowerPoint slides, I have some field names to enter. So I'm going to put Sale ID, and we're going to be able to choose the data type. I'm going to leave this as auto number, and I'm just going to describe this as unique sale identifier. All right, and I'm going to continue. Product ID. I'm going to change this to number, and this is a product code. All right, and so I'll continue to populate these, but just notice as I go to data type, I'm presented with a drop-down menu. If you start to type the name of one of the data types, it starts to auto-populate, and then we can put whatever we want in the description here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these entries, and again, you can find these in the PowerPoint slides. Okay, and so you can see I finished entering the field names and their data types, a little bit of information in some cases about those fields. You'll notice that it chose this first one as the primary key, and it turns out that is indeed the one I want as the primary key, but I can manipulate that by selecting that row and then clicking on primary key. So we'll just switch it for now just to illustrate, but I will go back and keep it on Sale ID. All right, I'm going to move over now to the datasheet view and enter a little bit of data. So I'm going to move to the datasheet, and yes, we will save the table. Okay, and you see now it's popular. Okay, now if you recall, Sale ID is an auto number, so I'm not going to enter anything here. I'm going to go over to product ID, and I'm going to enter 101. And you see that Sale ID auto-populated. Now yours probably has a 1 because I actually fixed an error where I had it already auto-numbered with 1 on a record that I deleted. So don't be concerned if your ID says 1 and mine says 2. All right, so salesperson, bill, and again, I'm getting these values from the PowerPoint slides. They're just sort of made up just for illustration, so I'm not terribly concerned with the exact values. And we're going to check that yes, this is a discount. And it is not happy because I put a number in date of sale. So let me erase that. And so the date of sale is actually 12 13, 2016. Okay, and so yes, this is a discount, so I will check that. And it seems I left out sale amount, so this gives me an opportunity to illustrate inserting a row. So I'll go back to View, Design View, and after quantity sold, I'm going to highlight this row and I'm going to right click and do an insert row. And actually, well, let me go ahead and do this. I know it's out of order, but that'll give me a chance to illustrate something else. So I'm going to do sale amount currency. All right. And now you see I've got this kind of out of order, so I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to drag it to flip-flop these two. And I find that this can be a little finicky, especially when I'm trying to demonstrate it. So let me highlight on this row again, and then I'm just going to drag to flip-flop the two. Okay, and so again, you can see that we have this option. We can right click, we can insert rows, we can delete rows, and we can also highlight and drag to change the order of the rows. So now let's go back to the datasheet view. And yes, we will save that. And now I'll come over here to sale amount 625. Okay. We're going to do another manipulation to our data. We're going to create some captions to make our column headings more reasonable. So we'll leave the field names as they are, but we'll change the caption so that they appear in the table in a more readable manner. So I'm going to go back to the design view. And whenever I click on any particular field name, you'll see down here that I have caption as an option. And so we'll just make some more readable names with spaces in them. Sale ID, and then I can just go through the list. All right, and I'll continue to do this. I will pause and go ahead and fill all of these in, but you can see I'm just doing the same thing every time. I'm just clicking through each of the field names, and I'm coming down here to the caption and manipulating the caption. And you can see in the PowerPoint slides how I am renaming the caption. Okay, so I finished adding the captions, and so we'll just scroll through them and take a look. Some of them I didn't bother to change, like discount and notes have no caption. And so now you'll see if we go back to the data, and yes, we will save that, that the new captions are what appears on the column headers. And we didn't really talk about this discount column a whole lot, but remember this was treated as a yes/no variable, and in those cases, the way the column populates is just with the boxes where we check, it is checked for yes and not checked for no. I want to illustrate one more functionality in Access. We've talked about manipulating fields and creating this new table sales. And I want to show you that you can also copy the table. So you can right click and do a copy, and then you can right click and paste that table, and OK. And so now we have a copy of the table sales, and so I can toggle between the two tables. Of course, they're identical to each other. And I can also delete that table. So right click and okay, now it doesn't like you to delete things when they're open, so I will close this table. And then again, back over here, right click and all right, so as with many other objects, we can copy, paste, and delete Access tables.